Right now on Good Morning America, first look from Texas to New England. More than half the nation bracing for what's expected to become an historic winter storm. Snow, ice, and wind chills as low as 50 below zero. Emergencies now declared in a dozen states. Grocery store shelves empty. A closer look at the timing of the storm and the debate, cancel school or go remote.
Questions surrounding this image. Immigration agents detaining a 5-year-old in Minnesota. But we're now learning about the boy and his father.
Breaking overnight, the deal to save TikTok is finalized. What it means for the algorithm.
A developing story. Sources say the FBI is now investigating the death of former Indianapolis Colts owner Jim Irsay.
The new legal battle after the National Park Service removes an exhibit on slavery.
Caught on camera, the big buck that did not belong in the bank.
Speaking of banks, a new push to lower credit card interest rates. The idea now being considered.
Later, Paris Hilton takes her fight against deepfake porn to Capitol Hill.
And the NFL playoffs scoring big, the new record set.
From ABC News, this is Good Morning America, First Look.
Good Friday morning, everyone. I'm Sophie Flay.
And I'm Hannah Batal. We begin preparations for a massive winter storm that could impact some 200 million Americans.
The storm will have everything. Ice, snow, wind chills of up to 50 below zero in parts of the country. And if you're heading to the supermarket, brace yourself. This morning, the salt trucks are out and the snowplows are ready as a massive winter storm takes aim at more than half the country.
It's a significant storm that we haven't seen in 3-4 years. So, winter's back.
Emergencies declared across the South, from Texas to Maryland, with snow and dangerous ice moving into the region later today. That system will then make its way east tomorrow before tracking up the coast, stretching all the way to Maine by Sunday. And the impacts are already being felt. People rushing to stock up on food and supplies, finding shelves empty. One woman in Dallas says she went to 6 stores trying to find bread. And in Pennsylvania, this was the line just to get into Lowe's.
I bought toilet paper the other day at Costco, and that's all I needed, really, the toilet paper. What else do you need for a storm?
The storm is expected to paralyze travel. Delta is already canceling flights in at least 5 states, with other major airlines also waiving change fees. Officials warning people to stay off the roads. In Tennessee, some areas could see more than half an inch of ice. Another factor, the extreme cold, which could strain power grids and lead to widespread blackouts. In Chicago, public schools forced to close today, with wind chills dropping to 30 below zero. In New York City, up to a foot of snow is possible by Monday, with the mayor hinting he may revive old-fashioned snow days and not require students to attend school virtually.
Snow is also an incredible amount of fun for so many young people across the city. We also want to make a decision that we know is the right decision to make.
The storm zone stretches nearly 2,000 miles. More than 1,300 flights tomorrow have already been canceled.
Police in Indiana have arrested 5 people in connection with the shooting of a judge and his wife. Judge Stephen Meyer and his wife Kimberly were injured last Sunday when police say someone fired a shotgun into their home. 3 men and 2 women now face multiple charges, including attempted murder. No word yet on a motive. Now to Minnesota and conflicting accounts about what led immigration agents to detain this 5-year-old boy. It comes ahead of a widespread protest expected today.
This morning, an immigration attorney insists Liam Conejo Ramos, the 5-year-old seen here being detained by ICE, entered the United States legally.
These are not illegal aliens. They came properly, they came legally and are pursuing a legal pathway.
Ramos and his father were detained Tuesday. The Department of Homeland Security saying the father is an illegal alien from Ecuador, but an attorney says that is not true.
Liam and his dad did enter the United States at a port of entry to seek asylum. They've shared all of their information with the government, and they were following the process.
DHS says the father fled on foot as agents approached, claiming the man abandoned his son and saying agents tried to place Liam with his mother, but she refused to take him.
Well, what are they supposed to do? Are they supposed to let a 5-year-old child freeze to death?
In Minneapolis yesterday, Vice President Vance said the agents were protecting the boy. But school officials who claim to witness the incident say agents essentially used the 5-year-old as bait, directing him to knock on the door to see if anyone else was home before taking him away. And witnesses claim multiple people, including the boy's mother, offered to take him.
There was another adult who lived in the home that was there saying, "I will take the child, I will take the child."
The school district says Liam is among 4 students recently detained. He and his father were flown to a detention facility in Texas.
Renee, good.
Meanwhile, a civil rights attorney and at least 2 other people involved in this anti-ICE protest during a Minnesota church service have now been arrested. The protest was aimed at the pastor who works for ICE. Many local businesses plan to close today, part of an economic protest of the immigration crackdown. Vice President Vance calling for calm.
Yes, come out and protest me, protest our immigration policy, but do it peacefully.
As for that civil rights attorney who was arrested, the White House shared an altered version of this photo of her arrest. The version the White House shared, which we are not airing, shows the woman sobbing and her skin darkened. The White House later calling that photo a meme.
Well, the deal is finally done to save TikTok in the United States. The app's Chinese parent company has officially agreed to create a separate venture to handle U.S. operations because of national security concerns here at home. So what's changing? ABC's Nicole D'Antonio has the answers. Nicole, good morning.
Well, Sophie, good morning. The company is spinning off its U.S. operations to avoid being banned in the U.S. Congress was worried about so much American data being in the hands of the Chinese. Now, as part of this new joint venture, the tech company Oracle, led by billionaire Larry Ellison, will join other major investors, including an investment firm from Abu Dhabi, and they'll split a majority stake in TikTok. So crucial to this deal is TikTok's algorithm, which will now be retrained using American data. Oracle will oversee data storage and security. Now, this deal is not expected to dramatically change the user experience overnight, but because the algorithm will use a different set of data, it could lead to changes in how that content is personalized. Critics worry the app is being handed to Larry Ellison, a Trump donor who already controls Paramount CBS and is trying to buy Warner Brothers. But President Trump is celebrating the deal, thanking China's president for his cooperation. Sophie.
Nicole, thank you. President Trump says the U.S. will have total access to Greenland after backing away from threats to take the Danish territory by force. He told reporters the deal is currently being negotiated and will last forever, and promises more details soon.
We'll have something in 2 weeks. There's a good spirit to get something done, and we have to have a strong freedom. We have to have the ability to do exactly what we want to do.
The leaders of Denmark and Greenland have made it clear their sovereignty is not negotiable.
Amazon is reportedly planning another major round of job cuts. Reuters says another 14,000 corporate job cuts could be coming. That's about the same amount as last October. Those cuts were linked to the rise of artificial intelligence software, although CEO later said it was more about changing the culture.
Sources say the FBI is investigating the death of Jim Irsay, the former billionaire owner of the Indianapolis Colts. When Irsay died in May, a doctor said the cause was cardiac arrest caused by pneumonia. But sources say the FBI and the DEA are now investigating an addiction specialist who allegedly provided Irsay with opioids and ketamine. You may recall the use of ketamine to treat addiction led to criminal charges in the death of actor Matthew Perry. In a statement, the Colts said, "We are aware of the investigation, but at this time, we've not been contacted by the FBI or been served with any subpoenas." The FBI declined to confirm or deny the case.
Time now for your Friday forecast.
Good morning. Hours away from our high-impact storm taking shape over the southern plains. Widespread alerts across 60 to 70% of the country. Major icing Dallas, Nashville, over to Raleigh. That's Friday through Sunday. Could be damaging with power outages. The icing gets going this afternoon. Some snow off to the north. Oklahoma City to Nashville. Spreads into the mid-south and mid-Atlantic. Big snows from the Ohio Valley head into the northeast over the weekend. Washington, New York, all over to Boston, big snows, maybe some mixing later in the day on Sunday, but a big swath of heavy snows all the way to New England, to Texas, and the big freeze lasts into next week. That's your forecast. I'm ABC News meteorologist Lee Goldberg.
Coming up, a Marine veteran shot and killed trying to sell something on Facebook Marketplace.
Also ahead, the new push to lower credit card interest rates, what some banks are now considering.
And the intruder causing a big mess inside this bank. We're back with a disturbing crime from Missouri. Police say a Marine veteran was shot and killed while trying to sell his phone on Facebook Marketplace. 42-year-old Ryan Burke was gunned down at his home in Columbia after arranging to meet with a potential buyer. 3 18-year-olds and a minor have been charged with his murder. Police say Burke was able to call 911 and describe his attackers before his death.
We turn now to credit card debt and a possible sign that some big banks may be willing to sign on to one of President Trump's ideas. A major shift could be coming to credit cards. Bloomberg reports Bank of America and Citigroup are now considering new credit cards with an interest rate capped at 10%. President Trump recently called for a universal cap of 10%, saying he would ask Congress to approve the cap for 1 year. Trump saying, "We will no longer let the American public be ripped off by credit card companies that are charging interest rates of 20 to 30% and even more."
If they are to offer a 10% card interest rate, then they have to figure out how to balance and take account for the customers that will default and that they're going to be losing money on certain customers at that specific interest rate.
Some bank executives have warned a cap would trigger a major pullback on lending and curb economic growth. But some analysts argue credit cards are extremely profitable, leaving room for lower rates. A recent report found the country's collective credit card debt now tops $1.2 trillion.
It would be an economic disaster.
Jamie Dimon, CEO of JP Morgan Chase, says capping rates would devastate consumers because banks would likely cut off the majority of Americans from accessing credit.
It would remove credit from 80% of Americans, and that is their backup credit.
Dimon is now being sued by President Trump over a separate issue. The president is seeking at least $5 billion in damages over allegations JP Morgan Chase closed his accounts for political reasons after the January 6 riot at the U.S. Capitol. JP Morgan saying the lawsuit has no merit. The bank says it does not close accounts for political reasons, but does close them if they create legal risks.
An intruder at a bank on Long Island, New York, turned out to be a big buck. Yep, this deer crashed through the bank's window, creating a huge mess as it frantically looked for a way out. Police got a hold of an antler, then ended up using a makeshift lasso to get the deer back outside. It appeared to be okay, police said, as it ran back into the woods. Local police say the deer was not charged in this case, and he lived to break into another bank another day. Look at that. I mean, that airtime.
Oh, yeah.
Serious hops from the deer.
He's getting there. Coming up, President Trump's teenage son, Barron, calls police to help a woman overseas. We'll explain.
Also ahead, Paris Hilton takes her fight against deepfake porn to Capitol Hill. Back now at the city of Philadelphia facing a lawsuit after the National Park Service removed an exhibit on slavery. The exhibit honored 9 people who were enslaved by George Washington. The Department of Interior says it was removed to comply with an executive order from President Trump. His order was titled Restoring Truth and Sanity to American History. Pennsylvania's governor accuses President Trump of trying to rewrite and whitewash our history.
A phone call from President Trump's youngest son is now being used as evidence in a criminal trial overseas. Barron Trump called police in London last year to report an attack he witnessed. He said a woman on a video call with him was getting assaulted. He told the operator he met the woman on social media and was close with her. An ex-boyfriend is charged in the case. The woman testified that Barron's call helped save her life.
We turn now to Paris Hilton, taking a stand against deepfake pornography. She's hoping a proposed law will empower victims. Here's ABC's Andrea Fujii.
Former TV reality star Paris Hilton is sharing her own reality about how deepfake pornography has affected her life.
Before, someone had to betray your trust and steal something real. Now, all it takes is a computer and a stranger's imagination.
Hilton visited Capitol Hill to push for passage of the Defiance Act, a bill that would allow victims of non-consensual, sexually explicit deepfakes to sue anyone who produces and distributes them. Hilton says when she was 19, an intimate video of her was posted online. And since then, more than 100,000 deepfakes have been produced.
Each time a new one appears, that horrible feeling returns. That fear that someone, somewhere, is looking at it right now and thinking it's real. No amount of money or lawyers can stop or protect me from more.
The bill cleared the Senate, and now there's bipartisan support in the House.
We can stop this harm, and we can pass this legislation to hold the people responsible accountable.
This bill shows what is possible when we put victims ahead of politics.
Hilton says 1 out of every 8 girls now experiences the harm of AI-generated deepfakes, including high school student Francesca Manni.
Pass this now, please. No more waiting while tech outpaces justice.
I am Paris Hilton, a woman, a wife, a mom, a survivor, and what was done to me was wrong. And I will keep telling the truth to protect every woman, every girl, every survivor, now and for the future.
This is not the first time Paris Hilton has pushed for legislation. In 2024, she successfully campaigned for a bill to protect children in residential treatment facilities from abuse. Hannah, Sophie.
Coming up, the unusual snowballs appearing in part of the country.
Plus, the NFL playoffs scoring big in the TV ratings. Time to check the pulse. Most of us are bracing for a big snow and ice storm, but this is something different.
Look at this scene. This is near Rochester, New York. It might look like someone had a big snowball fight. Certainly looks like the remnants of one. But these are actually called snow rollers.
They form when heavy, dense snow falls onto layers of harder snow. The chunks start rolling in the wind, and they don't stop until they're too heavy to keep rolling. Next, reaction to the Oscar nominations.
It was a record-setting haul for Sinners. The vampire thriller described as a celebration of blues music and black culture stars Michael B. Jordan. That movie picked up 16 nominations, and if you're keeping track, that is the most of any movie ever. Jordan said it is truly an honor that is really hard for him to put into words.
That movie is so good. Meanwhile, Kate Hudson is celebrating her second Oscar nom for Song Sung Blue. She says she'll attend the ceremony with her mother, Goldie Hawn. I loved Kate Hudson in this movie. It was so fun to see her sing. She's got great pipes. Emma Stone also making Oscars history as the youngest woman to ever reach 7 nominations.
A lot of records there. What announced yesterday.
Yeah.
Really, really exciting. Any awards predictions you'd like to make? I know you watched most of the movies so far.
I would like to see Sinners win big.
Okay.
I think they deserve it.
You've convinced me I need to watch it. I have a lot of catching up to do, that's for sure. The son of former talk show host Dr. Phil is being sued by New York City.
Yeah, the city is trying to block the release of a TV show about the NYPD. Officials claim Jordan McGraw and his producers shot video that compromised undercover officers and witnesses. It's for an unscheduled show called Behind the Badge. A lawyer for McGraw says he's willing to work with the city to address those concerns.
Speaking of TV, we have 2 big NFL games Sunday, Patriots-Broncos and Rams-Seahawks.
If they're anything like last week's games, a whole lot of people will be watching. Last Sunday's game between the Patriots and Texans was the most watched event in ESPN's history. And at one point, last Saturday, more than 51 million people were watching the Broncos-Bills game, and more than 52 million people were watching the Bears and Rams in overtime Sunday night. Overall ratings were up 5% from last year. And finally, a different take on brick oven pizza.
Yeah, how about hot lava pizza? One chef is cooking pies on this active volcano in Guatemala on the smoldering rocks.
He says it's made with dangerous dough, but claims it's the best pizza in the world. Top headlines next. Checking more top stories, a new report claims the murder rate in the U.S. has dropped to its lowest level in more than a century. The Council on Criminal Justice says the number of murders dropped more than 20% last year in the biggest cities.
In Minnesota, Vice President J.D. Vance addressed concerns about the actions of immigration agents, saying any misconduct should be investigated. It comes amid conflicting accounts about why ICE detained a 5-year-old boy who's now been flown to a detention center in Texas with his father.
Police say a former NFL player has been murdered in South Los Angeles. Kevin Johnson played for the Eagles and Raiders in the 90s. His body was found near a homeless encampment. His friends say Johnson had health problems they believe could be linked to CTE. He was 55.
Today's weather, dry on the West Coast, snow in the Rockies, and that major storm is ready to roll across the South. About 200 million people from Texas to New England will be feeling the effects, with ice in the South and 6 to 12 inches of snow from Oklahoma up to Maine by Monday.
And finally, a camp for fat cats.
Danny New shows us.
Come on, Cece. Come on.
It might be hard work, but when a cat needs to lose some weight, shelters know who to call.
A lot of people describe it as a kitty fat camp, so it's a little bit of a kitty fat camp, you know?
Christine here of Ottawa runs the Big House Sanctuary and Rehab, a nonprofit that takes in cats with a little more love to give who usually have trouble getting adopted from shelters.
We help them lose weight, you know, help them with their mobility, and then we find them forever homes.
You may remember our story from the summer of 2024 on Christine's most famous patient, Biggie Smalls. He was 43 pounds when she got him, and now...
Say hi!
Oh, look at you, rub, 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 rub. Christine says after about a year and a half, Biggie is already down to 25 pounds. And he certainly has had no qualms at all with the activities that helped him get here. However, Christine says exercise is not the most important factor.
I'll tell you right now, it's almost like humans. Calories in, calories out. Like, we monitor their calories and their food intake.
Christine says Biggie's fame actually helped her launch this mission about a year ago. And now 95% of the money that funds this care has come through donations from her social media followers.
If one of our cats are in the hospital, I never have to worry about saying like, oh, I don't know if we can afford this, because as soon as I post about it, everybody's super generous.
Sweetie. Thanks to this community's kindness, Christine can help cats like Cece, who could barely walk when she got her in September. In 4 months, she's already lost 7 pounds.
Everybody loves Cece. This is Cece. She's so sweet.
So guys, if you follow the Big House Sanctuary on social media, Christine does weigh-ins every other Friday to check in on the kitties' weights. She does so by luring them by putting a little treat on the scale.
And that's what they deserve. Yeah, that would work on me too.
That's your Good Morning America First Look.
Have a great day and a safe weekend, everyone.